for you to achieve graduation, you got to pass the test. Look at somebody and tell them you got to pass the test. You got to pass. They wasn't ready for you. I need you to turn to somebody else. Find somebody in another section and talk to them and let them know you've got to pass the test. I'm already preaching to somebody right quick that can catch me on this flight, because the reality is wherever you are in the school of life, you may have been going through some tests. I wish I had half a church in here. You may have been enduring some challenge because life's school has brought you to a point where you can recognize you have been going through some tests. Is there anybody here that is no longer in an academic setting, but as you go through the accoutrement of development of who you are as a child of God, you can admit that you're going through some tests? I know you got a mask on, but can you wave a brother right quick and just acknowledge that I'm going through some tests? You got some tests that are happening with your family. You got some tests that are happening with your finances. You got some tests that are happening with your physical body. You got some tests that are going on with your children. You got some tests that are going on with your credit. You got some tests that are going on with your career. You got some tests that are going on because you're not sure how you're going to get through the summer because your money is funny and your change is strange. You're going through some tests in your relationships. You're going through some tests in your marriage. You're going through some tests with your parents. You're going through some tests in your own body. You're going through some tests dealing with crazy people at work. You're going through some tests, but as you go through the test, God told me to remind you that you don't ever get a test unless you've been prepared to pass. I'm going to shout by myself up in here. You never get a test. You got to, Lord, wish I had some help in him. You never get a test unless the teacher has prepared you to pass. Slap your neighbor high five for me right quick and tell her I've been prepared to pass. I need some folks that can shout with me, because you're going through some tests and you assume that you couldn't make it. You assumed it was too difficult. You assumed you were going to flunk out. You assumed you were going to get kicked out. But God told me to preach to you right now and let you know the only reason you get a test is because the teacher has prepared you to pass.